Hey everyone, this is Ryder from Skip. It's Tuesday, April 27th. Important video today on EIDL grants, the new $5,000 supplemental EIDL grants. And I'm going to answer a few of your questions because hundreds of you left comments and questions on yesterday's video I did where I went over all the screenshots, basically from email invite to your portal. So I'm going to talk about that. And the SBA announced today that the Restaurant Revitalization Fund will go live next Monday. I'll mention that. We've also put up a post on our app about this. If you are a restaurant or in the service industry, food trucks, catering services, bakeries, bars, related businesses can start to register this Friday and start applying on Monday. Deep dive on that on the app, Hello Skip in the App Store, and huge shout out to the thousands of you. We had almost 8,000 of you so far sign up to support our effort to change eligibility for the Supplemental Targeted Advance because of the low income provision. You know, it was much higher than I expected. Keep sharing, keep telling others. Again, you can go to changeeidlrules.com. Thank you to all the other YouTubers who gave us shout outs as well. This is a collective effort, especially Jason as well, and I believe a few others, but this is a collective effort. And like I said yesterday, the SBA does listen to constituents. We are their constituents. We've been saying for a long time the low-income provision is unfair. Like in this example here, this person has qualified for everything, the advanced, the targeted, and the supplemental, whereas many of you are unfairly left out because of that low-income provision. What we did at changeeidlrules.com is we are collecting support. Add your name here to the petition. We are sending an email, hopefully tomorrow, if not the day after, depending on how many supporters we get. Just put in your name and email here and then share it. Many have said that you are low income. Maybe you're sharing a house with someone, but the house happens to be in a middle income neighborhood, or you're across the street from a very low income neighborhood. Lots of scenarios here which unfairly leave out businesses that need support. And our poll has showed that almost 1 out of every 3 people are not eligible, mainly because of that low income provision. This is the poll I put up a day ago, 2,500 votes. 68% of you think you're eligible for the additional $5,000 EIDL grants. 32% do not think you are eligible. And again, the overwhelming majority is because you don't qualify based on the low income provision. There are several other reasons why people are getting rejected. In case you're not up to speed, we posted all of the rejection reasons on our app and blog. Here's why people are getting denied, not eligible because of the low income. That's the most common one, but also because your tax transcripts do not show 30% revenue decline. So if that's the case, you would have been not eligible and you would have been denied. There's also unverifiable information, other mismatching information such as your bank account, and if you're on a do not pay list. Those are main reasons, and you can get reconsideration. We talked about that on the blog here, I believe about a week ago. But the problem is because these new supplemental grants are first come, first serve, and many of you have mentioned this, you're trying to get reconsidered for the targeted, you're going to be stuck in that process. You may get approved, but chances are by the time you get approved, that $5 billion for supplemental may have run out. Again, only 1 million businesses so far will qualify for that extra $5,000. So any of you in the queue, waiting, we'll see what happens, but that's the main reason why we are taking the time to get support as much as we can to changeeidlrules.com, to add your email and name so we can say, look, SBA, we've been watching this evolve for 14 months now. The folks that were having trouble last April 2020, are still having a difficult time a year later. That's a lot of waiting. So many of you have spent countless hours not only watching these videos, but also calling the SBA, sending emails, digging up information back and forth. Of course, it's stressful. So 2 things up on the blog and app. First, the Restaurant Revitalization Fund details here and step-by-step instructions on the new 5K EIDL grant. On the SBA's Twitter today, they talk about this big news, and they are doing webinars as well. There's one tomorrow. I believe there's one the next day as well. If you're a restaurant or if you're a business that may qualify for the Restaurant Revitalization Funds, you can tune into their webinars to learn how to apply. The fund will prioritize direct relief to women, veterans, and socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. Now, it's unclear if they're going to look at where you live and use that as a proxy, which is certainly not the best metric for this. They should look at someone's reality to help make a decision. Do they need the funds? Are they low income? Are they socially and economically disadvantaged? And then use that to help make a decision. This also includes $9.5 billion in set-asides for smaller businesses. I would love to hear in the comments if you are considering applying for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. If you want to learn more about it, again, I know many of you watching this channel, subscribing, turning on alerts, are into the EIDL grants and the PPP, but I would love to get a signal how many of you care about the RRF and want to know more about that. I can do an in-depth video on that later this week. Let me give a quick recap of the supplemental targeted advances and answer some of your questions, and then I'm going to end with PPP information because I think we probably only have a couple weeks left in the PPP funding pot. I'll show you the data there that confirms this. We're tracking the data every week when the SBA releases reports to see how much is being approved every week and what that means if you are still waiting or you're still thinking about applying. This is the email that started going out yesterday. Have you gotten this yet? I'd love to hear in the comments. Supplemental targeted advance, basically the 3 criteria: low-income community, speak up if you want to get rid of that, economic loss greater than 50%, and 10 or fewer employees. You need to click the green button here, and you go through a flow that looks like this, where you put in your EIN or SSN, then you confirm that you want the $5,000, then you get a confirmation page that looks like this. Okay, that's the one flow. The second step, just to repeat here, is you need to log into your portal because chances are you may see something like this: EIDL advance, funded, targeted EIDL advance, funded, supplemental, in progress. Blue button here, submit for processing. Click that, a modal pops up. It may take some time because the site is being overwhelmed, but then you should see the status change to submitted. Again, many of you say it still says in progress for you. What does that mean? It means it's still in review as far as we know. If you haven't gotten a denial letter, those letters I just showed you, but you got the invite and you filled out the invite, chances are your status may say in progress. And if you want to email the SBA to push them along on the decision, you can do that. We have heard that that does work, basically saying, look, I'm stuck in status. Can someone take a look at this? Can't hurt to speak up. And if that's worked for you, also leave in the comments because I think that will help others as well. How much does being proactive help in this situation with the advances and the supplemental 5K advance? In terms of EIDL loan amounts, we haven't heard that new money's gone out yet. However, if you've gotten the increase already, if you've gotten the extra EIDL loan increase in your bank account, I'd love to hear that in the comments as well so we can understand how long it's taking for that extra money to get to your bank account. Now, as we end today, a new PPP weekly report came out yesterday, and we look at the data every week. Here's where we're at now. $250 billion has been approved out of 284. So that's almost 90% of PPP funding has been approved this year. Technically 88%. The week before, 240. So it's gone up $8 billion in the last week. And the week before that, it was 232. So we are about $8 billion every week being allocated. And we have about $35 billion left. So we're looking at between 4 and 5 weeks. However, there usually is a push at the end. You don't want to wait till the last week. So I'll mention again, you can go to pppbonus.com to apply through Funding Circle, or you can go to trackpploan.com to apply through Bluevine. You can try both. Again, between last week and this week, $8 billion has been spent. We have about $35 billion left. There's always talk about adding more money, but don't count on it. Last thing here, thank you so much for your continued support and subscribing, liking this video so more people see it. If you do one thing today, please do subscribe and turn on alerts. It will support our entire team: Julie, Den, Jonah, AC, Patricia. They are all starting to help out by answering your comments and questions, not only on our app, but also on our YouTube channel. And when you subscribe, it helps us dedicate more resources to our YouTube channel. If I can't answer questions all the time, they can help answer questions too. So do them a favor and hit subscribe. Even if you've been watching for a long time and you haven't hit subscribe yet, take a second to hit it right now and turn on alerts and hit the like button. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.